My friends, it is no coincidence that you are here today. This is your moment. This is your chapter in the book of life, and it's called the Book of Daniel, 2025. A story that is not just about a single person, but about you, the chosen ones. Each of you who is ready to shake the world. I want to start with this. Vulnerability is not weakness, it is power. For too long, we've been taught that being strong means hiding our pain, pretending that everything is perfect. But let me tell you something. The world doesn't need your perfection. It needs your authenticity. It needs your courage to show up exactly as you are. Vulnerability is the birthplace of innovation, creativity, and change. If we are going to shake the world, we must begin by shaking off the armor that holds us back. Courage over comfort is the foundation of true leadership, transformation, and impact. It's the moment when we decide that staying safe is no longer an option, that the discomfort of growth is worth more than the illusion of security. In a world that rewards perfection, fitting in and following the crowd, choosing courage is radical. It is a rebellion against fear, against self-doubt, against the voices, both internal and external, that tell us to stay small. Think about Daniel. He stood before kings, faced the threat of death, and remained unwavering in his faith and identity. He had every reason to take the easy way out. He could have conformed, he could have stayed quiet, he could have played it safe. But courage is never about what's easy. It's about choosing what's right, even when it's terrifying. It's about standing firm when the world tells you to sit down. We live in a time where people are desperate for certainty. They want guarantees before they take risks. They want proof before they step forward. But courage doesn't work that way. Courage is stepping forward without knowing the outcome. It's trusting that even if you fail, you will rise again. And let's be real, failure is inevitable. You will stumble, you will face criticism, you will doubt yourself. But courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the willingness to move forward despite it. We are wired to avoid discomfort. Our brains tell us to seek safety, to avoid pain, to protect ourselves at all costs. That's why so many people never step into their true calling, because it's hard, because the unknown is scary, because they've convinced themselves that waiting for the right moment is the smart thing to do. But let me tell you something, the right moment will never come. There will never be a time when you feel fully ready. There will never be a time when the fear completely disappears. And if you wait until you feel fearless, you will spend your whole life waiting. Courage means making peace with discomfort. It means accepting that growth will stretch you, that stepping into your purpose will come with challenges. But what's the alternative? Staying small, living a life dictated by fear, regretting the chances you didn't take? That's not a life. That's a slow surrender to mediocrity. The people who shake the world aren't necessarily the strongest, the smartest, or the most talented. They are the ones who choose courage over comfort. They are the ones who stand up when it would be easier to sit down. They are the ones who say, I don't know where this road leads, but I'm going to walk it anyway. And here's the truth. People will judge you either way. If you play it safe, people will have something to say. If you take a risk, people will still have something to say. So why not choose the path that sets your soul on fire? Why not choose the path that allows you to live fully, to step into your greatness, to leave a legacy that matters? Daniel's story is a reminder that courage doesn't always come with applause. Sometimes it will cost you relationships. Sometimes it will mean standing alone. But standing alone with integrity is better than standing in a crowd that compromises your truth. If you are waiting for the world to validate your courage before you take action, you'll never move. Validation comes later. First, you must step out in faith. One of the greatest myths about courage is that it's a one-time decision. It's not. Courage is a daily choice. It's waking up every morning and deciding, today, I will show up. Today, I will take the risk. Today, I will not let fear dictate my life. Some days you will feel strong, other days you will feel like you're barely holding it together. That's okay. Courage isn't about feeling brave all the time. It's about acting brave even when you're shaking inside. There will be moments when you want to quit, moments when the weight of your calling feels too heavy, moments when you wonder if you're really meant for this, When that happens, remember why you started. Remember that the people who change the world aren't the ones who never struggle. They are the ones who refuse to give up. The easy road leads to regret. The hard road leads to purpose. The choice is yours. Choose courage, choose growth, choose to step forward even when fear whispers that you can't, because you can. And the world is waiting for you to prove it. Resilience is not just about enduring hardship. It is about rising stronger every single time we fall. It is about facing adversity, pain, and failure, and still choosing to move forward. The book of Daniel is a testament to resilience, not because Daniel's life was easy, but because he refused to let difficulty define him. He was taken from his home, forced into a foreign culture, and faced life-threatening situations, yet he remained unwavering in his identity, his faith, and his purpose. That is what resilience looks like. Not the absence of struggle, but the refusal to let struggle break you. Life will test you. It will knock you down, sometimes when you least expect it. You will experience loss, betrayal, and moments where everything you thought was certain crumbles around you. Resilience is not about pretending those things don't hurt. It is about allowing yourself to feel the pain, to process it, and then to stand back up. Too often, we equate strength with suppression, as if ignoring our wounds will make them disappear. But true resilience requires honesty. It requires looking at the wounds, acknowledging them, and deciding that they will not be the end of our story. We all have moments where we want to give up, moments where the weight of our challenges feels unbearable. In those moments, resilience is a choice. It is the decision to take one more step when you feel like stopping. It is the willingness to believe in yourself even when doubt creeps in. It is recognizing that setbacks are not the end, they are just a part of the journey. Daniel could have given up when he was thrown into the lion's den. He could have given up when he was taken into captivity. But he understood something that we all need to embrace. Hard times do not define you. How you respond to them does. The most powerful people in the world are not the ones who have never faced hardship. They are the ones who have faced it and refused to be defeated by it. Every failure, every rejection, every closed door is an opportunity to build resilience. The question is not whether you will face challenges. The question is, will you let them make you stronger or will you let them break you? When you begin to see obstacles as training rather than punishment, your entire perspective shifts. The fire you go through is refining you, not destroying you. There is a moment in every person's life when they have to decide whether they will be the victim of their circumstances or the author of their comeback story. It is easy to blame the world, to feel sorry for yourself, to let pain harden you. But resilience means making a different choice. It means saying, this will not be the thing that stops me. This will be the thing that shapes me. It means using what was meant to break you as fuel to build something greater. Some of the most successful, impactful people in history did not get there because everything was handed to them. They got there because they refused to quit. They were rejected, doubted, underestimated, and still they persisted. The difference between those who create change and those who stay stuck is not talent or intelligence. It is resilience. It is the commitment to keep going when everything in you wants to stop. One of the hardest truths about resilience is that no one can give it to you. It is something you must build for yourself. It is forged in the moments when you want to walk away but decide to stay. It is built in the times when you feel weak but choose to keep moving forward. It is created in the quiet, painful spaces where you decide that your story is not over. No one can make that decision for you. No one can do the work for you. Resilience is an inside job, and the only way to strengthen it is by walking through the fire and coming out stronger on the other side. This world will challenge you. It will test you. It will give you 1,000 reasons to quit. But resilience means finding the one reason to keep going. It means believing that your best days are still ahead, even when everything around you suggests otherwise. It means holding on to hope when it would be easier to surrender to despair. And more than anything, it means trusting that every struggle, every setback, and every moment of pain is preparing you for something greater. You have been through things that should have broken you. You have survived things that you thought you wouldn't. That alone is proof of your strength. But resilience is not just about surviving, it is about thriving. It is about using everything you have been through to build a life that is bold, meaningful, and unshakable. It is about refusing to let the past dictate your future. It is about standing up again and again, no matter how many times life knocks you down. You are stronger than you think. You are capable of more than you realize. The world will try to convince you otherwise, but resilience is the quiet voice that says, I will not be defeated. No matter what you face, no matter how hard the road gets, remember this: you are still here, you are still fighting, and that means you are already winning. Keep going. Owning your divine calling is not about waiting for permission. It is not about seeking validation from the world or waiting for a perfect moment to step into your purpose. It is about recognizing that you were created with intention, that there is something inside you that the world needs, and that playing small does not serve anyone. Too often, people live their entire lives doubting whether they are truly meant for something greater. They convince themselves that they are not qualified enough, not strong enough, not ready enough. But the truth is, no one ever feels fully ready. Stepping into your divine calling is not about waiting to feel fearless. It is about deciding to move forward despite the fear. There is a moment when you must stop questioning whether you are worthy of the calling placed on your life and start walking in it. The world is full of distractions designed to make you doubt yourself. There will always be voices telling you that you are not enough, that someone else is more capable, that you should wait until you have more experience, more knowledge, more confidence. But waiting will not get you there. The only way to step into your divine calling is to claim it, to believe that you were chosen for a reason and that the very fact that the calling exists inside you is proof that you are meant to fulfill it. Many people look at others who are living in their purpose and think they must have always known exactly what to do. They must have had all the answers before they started. But that is not how purpose works. No one has it all figured out from the beginning. Owning your calling means being willing to take steps before you see the whole path. It means trusting that even if you don't have all the details, you have everything you need to take the next step. It means understanding that your calling is not about being perfect. It is about being willing. The book of Daniel is a reminder that divine calling does not come without challenges. Daniel could have chosen an easier path. He could have blended in, avoided conflict, and done what was expected of him. But purpose does not come from comfort. It comes from standing firm in who you are, even when it is difficult. Owning your calling means being willing to stand alone if necessary. It means being willing to do the right thing even when no one is watching. It means trusting that you were chosen not because it would be easy, but because you have the strength to carry it. One of the greatest obstacles to stepping into your divine calling is self-doubt. The voice in your head that tells you that you are not good enough, not capable enough, not deserving enough. But self-doubt is a lie designed to keep you from fulfilling your purpose. The enemy of your calling is not failure. It is the fear of failure. The most successful, purpose-driven people in the world are not those who never fail. They are the ones who refuse to let failure define them. They are the ones who understand that mistakes are not proof of inadequacy, they are proof of growth. Owning your calling means refusing to let fear control you. It means stepping into your purpose with confidence even when you feel uncertain. It means believing that you were created for a reason, and that reason is bigger than any fear, any doubt, any insecurity. The world will try to convince you that you are not ready. It will try to make you believe that you need to prove yourself before you can step into your purpose. But you do not need to prove anything. You are already enough. The fact that you exist, that you have breath in your lungs, that you have something burning inside you, that is proof enough. Too many people wait for external confirmation before they believe in themselves. They wait for a sign, for someone else to validate their dreams, for circumstances to align perfectly. But purpose does not work that way. If you wait for permission, you will wait forever. No one can walk in your calling for you. No one can fulfill your purpose except you. You must be the one to say, I am ready. Not because you have it all figured out, but because you are willing to trust the journey. Owning your calling also means understanding that it is not just about you. Your purpose is connected to the lives you will impact, the people you will inspire, the change you will create. Playing small does not serve the world. Hiding your gifts does not help anyone. When you step into your calling, you give others permission to do the same. You become a light in a world that desperately needs it. You show others what is possible when you choose faith over fear, purpose over hesitation, courage over comfort. There will always be moments of doubt, moments where you question if you are really meant for this. But remember this, you were not created by accident. You were placed here for a reason. Your calling is not random. It is intentional. The world needs your voice, your gifts, your presence. It is time to stop waiting. It is time to own your calling. It is time to step into the life you were meant to live. Faith is the foundation of every great calling, every bold decision, and every act of courage. It is the invisible force that carries people through the darkest valleys and the most uncertain moments of their lives. Faith is not about having all the answers. It is about trusting that there is a purpose even when the path is unclear. It is about believing in something greater than yourself, something beyond logic, beyond reason, beyond what you can see in front of you. Faith is what allows people to move forward when fear tells them to stop, to stand firm when everything around them is shaking, and to keep believing even when nothing seems to be working in their favor. The book of Daniel is a testament to the power of unwavering faith. Daniel's life was filled with trials that would have broken most people. He was taken from his home, placed in a foreign land, and constantly tested in ways that threatened his very existence. Yet he never wavered. He never compromised his beliefs for the sake of convenience. He never let his circumstances dictate his faith. Even when he was thrown into the lion's den, he did not panic. He did not beg for mercy. He trusted. That kind of faith is rare, but it is also necessary. Faith is not just about believing when things are going well. It is about believing when everything is falling apart. It is easy to have faith when doors are opening, when prayers are being answered, when success comes effortlessly. But real faith is tested in the waiting, in the silence, in the moments when nothing makes sense. It is tested when the breakthrough seems far away, when every effort seems to fail, when the opposition is overwhelming. That is when faith matters the most. It is in those moments that faith is either strengthened or abandoned. The people who go on to do extraordinary things are not the ones who had the easiest paths. They are the ones who refused to give up when things got hard. Faith is not passive, it requires action. It is not just about sitting back and hoping for the best. It is about stepping forward, even when the ground beneath you feels unsteady. It is about taking risks, knowing that even if you fail, you are still moving in the right direction. Faith means trusting that every challenge, every setback, and every delay is part of the process. It means understanding that what looks like failure today could be the foundation of tomorrow's success. It means believing that every step, no matter how small, is bringing you closer to your purpose. One of the biggest obstacles to faith is fear. Fear and faith cannot coexist. Fear says, what if it doesn't work? Faith says, what if it does? Fear says, you are not ready. Faith says, you are made for this. Fear focuses on everything that could go wrong. Faith focuses on the possibility of what could go right. The difference between those who step into their calling and those who stay stuck is not that one group is more talented or more capable. It is that one group chooses faith over fear. Faith requires letting go of control. It means surrendering the need to have everything figured out. It means trusting that even when things do not go according to plan, they are still working out for your good. The need for certainty is the enemy of faith. People often delay their purpose because they are waiting for guarantees, waiting for everything to line up perfectly. But faith does not work that way. Faith asks you to step out before you see the whole picture. It asks you to move before you have all the details. It asks you to believe in the unseen, to trust that the journey is unfolding exactly as it should. Many people struggle with faith because they have been disappointed before. They have prayed for things that did not happen. They have hoped for things that never came to pass. They have taken risks that led to failure. But faith is not about getting everything you want. It is about trusting that what is meant for you will never miss you. It is about understanding that sometimes unanswered prayers are actually redirections to something better. It is about believing that even in the delays, even in the losses, even in the heartbreak, there is still purpose. Faith gives you the strength to keep going when logic says to quit. It reminds you that what you see today is not the full story. It helps you hold on when everything inside you wants to let go. Faith is what keeps dreams alive when circumstances try to kill them. It is what keeps hope burning even when life tries to extinguish it. It is what allows you to walk into the unknown, not because you have all the answers, but because you trust that you are not walking alone. The world tries to make faith seem foolish. It tells people to be realistic, to lower their expectations, to settle for what is safe. But the people who change the world are the ones who refuse to settle. They are the ones who dare to believe in things that others dismissed as impossible. They are the ones who hold on to their vision even when no one else understands it. They are the ones who walk by faith, not by sight. Faith is not always easy, but it is always worth it. It is what turns ordinary people into extraordinary leaders. It is what transforms setbacks into comebacks. It is what allows people to step into their divine calling with confidence. If there is one thing to take away, it is this: faith is a choice. It is not a feeling. It is not dependent on circumstances. It is something you must decide every single day to hold on to. Because when you choose faith, you choose a life of purpose, of strength, of impact. And that is the kind of life that shakes the world. Legacy is not about what you accomplish for yourself. It is about what you leave behind for others. It is about the impact you make, the lives you touch, and the difference you create long after you are gone. Too often, people think legacy is reserved for the wealthy, the famous, or the powerful, but that is not true. Every single person is building a legacy, whether they realize it or not. Every action, every decision, every word spoken contributes to the story that will be told about them. The question is not whether you will leave a legacy. The question is what kind of legacy you will leave. Daniel's legacy was not built on wealth or status. It was built on character, on faith, on courage. He did not seek power, yet kings sought his wisdom. He did not compromise his values, yet he influenced entire empires. His legacy was not one of temporary success, but of lasting impact, and that is what true legacy is about. It is not about being remembered for what you had, but for who you were. It is not about how high you climbed, but how many people you lifted along the way. Most people spend their lives chasing achievements, believing that success will make them significant. But success without purpose is empty. Accolades fade, titles are forgotten. The things people spend years building can be gone in an instant. But legacy is different. Legacy is built in the moments when no one is watching. It is built in the way you treat people, in the kindness you show, in the integrity you uphold, even when it is inconvenient. Legacy is built in the quiet decisions, in the daily choices to do what is right instead of what is easy. One of the biggest misconceptions about legacy is that it happens at the end of life, but legacy is not something you live. It is not about waiting until you have everything figured out. It is about being intentional right now. Every interaction is an opportunity to leave a mark. Every challenge is an opportunity to show resilience. Every failure is an opportunity to teach others how to rise again. Legacy is built in the present, in the choices made today that will shape the stories told tomorrow. Many people never think about legacy because they are too consumed with survival. They are caught up in the stress of daily life, in the pressure to achieve more, in the fear of not being enough. But legacy is not about perfection. It is about impact. It is about understanding that even the smallest actions can have ripple effects that extend far beyond what can be seen. It is about realizing that a simple act of kindness, a moment of encouragement, a decision to stand firm in your values can change someone's life. The greatest legacies are not built by those who seek personal gain, but by those who understand the power of service. The people who make the biggest difference are not the ones who focus only on themselves, but the ones who pour into others. A true legacy is one that empowers, uplifts, and inspires. It is one that creates a path for others to follow. It is one that says, because I was here, someone else's life was better. Fear often keeps people from thinking about legacy. They worry that they are not significant enough, not talented enough, not important enough to leave a mark. But legacy is not about being the loudest voice in the room. It is about being a steady presence that changes lives in quiet, meaningful ways. It is about choosing to live in alignment with your values, even when no one acknowledges it. It is about choosing to show up with love, with kindness, with integrity, even when it is hard. The truth is, legacy is not built in a single moment. It is built in a lifetime of small, consistent actions. It is built by the way you show up for your family, the way you support your friends, the way you contribute to your community. It is built in the words you speak, in the encouragement you give, in the way you make others feel. People may not remember everything you did, but they will remember how you made them feel. They will remember the way you inspired them, the way you believed in them, the way you made them believe in themselves. Daniel's story is proof that legacy is not about circumstances. It is about choices. He could have let his hardships define him, but instead he chose to remain faithful. He could have compromised to gain favor, but instead he chose to stand firm. And because of those choices, his legacy has endured for centuries. His story continues to inspire, continues to challenge, continues to remind people of the power of faith, resilience, and courage. Every person has the ability to create a legacy that lasts. It does not require fame, fortune, or influence. It requires a commitment to living with purpose. It requires a willingness to make decisions that align with who you truly are. It requires the courage to stand for something greater than yourself. The question is not whether you will leave a legacy. The question is whether you will be intentional about the one you're building. If there's one thing to take away, it is this. Legacy is not about what you take from the world. It is about what you give to it. It is not about how long you live, but how deeply you impact others. And the beautiful thing about legacy is that you do not have to wait to start building it. Every moment is an opportunity. Every